Welcome. Let's go. This is the Dive 5. Check it out. I'm in the white shirt. All of you guys that have watched everything from this point forward understand that now this is what the presentation looks like. So what you're seeing right here on the screen is for the committed. I'm giving you guys a free presentation. It's a one-on-one planning session. This is going to be a lot shorter than the last videos. And this is the last informational video that I'm going to present to you guys before you guys get committed on the calls. All right, now, welcome to the P Vision. With this investment in yourself, you have the ability to have a tailor made 1 hour planning session where we're going to focus on three areas: your vision, long term goal clarity, short term goals, emotional setbacks. And this is going to include three 30-minute calls: a preview, a creation, and a review. Now, I'm going to walk you guys through the board right now. The reason why I'm going to walk you through the board is because this is the last part of the presentation that's going to allow you guys to put together the Tomorrow's Direction free content, where you'll even be able to link the last couple of videos in these lives, right? So the last one I stood that way facing this way. This one I'm standing this way facing this way. If you go back 5 years, you'll be able to see how I mentally put myself in this position. And years later, with consistency, I have put myself into creating dive boards and different presentation rooms to be able to get in front of mine, like where you're at. Now, I'm going to break this down to you. So how I post, right? And I break everything down in sections of five different tiers so you can have a better understanding. So number one is the walkthroughs. Number two, physical preparation. Number three, new goals or hobbies. Number four, marketing of talent or products. Number five, events or coaching. So to give you an understanding, I'm going to give you an example of each one of these areas and how that works for you. So when you're looking at you're looking at the video on the right hand side right now, and it's showing you a preview of the community. Let's say, for example, it says "be in the game" right there, or it'll say need a push. That is the marketing banner. Now, if you look at the videos differ, right? Some of them are football related, some of them are personal related, some of them are individual goal related. So when you look through this, if you see something that is a walkthrough, like one of the last YouTube videos that I dropped, and the content or the 30 seconds or the 60-second snippet is getting you to a point where it is a walkthrough of something, either physically or mentally, we're on tier one there. Tier number two is physical preparation. So when I'm showing you my book, right? And I'm going to show you guys this book, right? When I'm opening up my book on my Snapchat or my Instagram or any of my live feeds, and I'm writing in it, and I'm actually tracking and measuring what it is that I do. That right there is physical preparation. When I sit there and I set up the cones, I go through the walkthrough, and then maybe I give some advice to somebody, depending on who that person is that I'm collaborating with, training, or working with. That is the physical preparation. So sometimes you guys will see videos where at the very end I go, "Man, you did a great job today, blah blah blah," or "you dogged me today," or something like that. And then whenever I bring that example out and I show you the first party snap or snippet of that, you're actually seeing what it's like to be in what I call first person, right? Like from the ground, where the trenches are at, where you're literally putting yourself in a position to see someone's craft and what they go through every day. Everybody says blood, sweat, and tears, but it's like, when have you ever seen the player blood, sweat, and tears without, the highlight of the moment or the injury in the game, right? I'm talking about actually going to the practice fields or going to these positions and training. Now, number three, new goals or hobbies. So a couple weeks ago, my Instagram stories, you guys seen where I was showing an ab roller. I was giving you guys an opportunity to see a new product that you could use to get to your goals if you're at that level of athleticism. For people like my brother and other people that they promote products online, you should be able to funnel the presentations for that and separate your regular life and the way that you are generating business, income, or whatever the case may be. That's the reason why a lot of people have a business Facebook page and a personal Facebook page. The way that I do things, it's a way for you to stay in alignment with one profile, and then the more social media platforms that you use are all in alignment with one. So if you scroll through all of my social media, you'll understand that this is what I do every single day, day in and out, day out. Now, Number 4, marketing of talent or products. So for me, you guys see me sharing a lot of other individuals, right? I believe that the people that relate to me, right? The individuals that are going through similar situations than me. I believe that if that information is brought to the forefront of the mind, it will help other people that I now have brought into the community. You got to remember, I'm bringing people into the community that either are down and out, are almost giving up, feel like they need a push, maybe want to be a part of something, maybe have no one else contributing or supporting to them. At the same time, some of them might be impressed, some of them might, you know, be snakes. They might just be watching and stealing content, right? There's a bunch of different ways, and that's the reason why I do fear of loss, and I dump everyone, and then I bring back the people that are committed, because I want the community to get tighter and tighter and tighter. You should be able to support everybody in the community, even if you don't like it. If the dive is sharing it, there's no reason why you can't give a little contribution, because my numbers help every individual in an organic fashion, right? It's a lot deeper. It's like dropping seeds, and eventually these seeds become trees, and then all of a sudden all these fruits drop off the trees, and then you get to taste them, and who knows what the fruits are going to taste like. We don't know until 2 years, 5 years, 10 years of working together. However, just understand that I'm in the bigger vision. I'm at a point now where even when I'm showing you this, this is a level 5 in terms of the white shirt and the presentation, and on the informational side. This ain't a level 5 in terms of me paying a video editor $4,000 to show you guys my real talents. So there's different levels in terms of what I'm doing, but I want to get to a point where you guys can get on common ground with me, have a good understanding, and then know what to expect. And I'm going to break all that down right now. So number 5 is going to be events or coaching, right? So there's going to be free events where 20 people come to them, right? And then there's going to be paid events. The paid events are going to be invite only, and you're going to have to hit certain thresholds and get past certain glass windows, and you're going to have to be coachable enough to be put in those rooms, right? We want the strongest minds to be in these masterminds to create and develop, how I'm going to disperse this to the world. You guys are watching this for entertainment purposes. You're watching this because I sent you the link. There's smaller levels. I'm on a bigger endeavor to actually give this a solid path of communication to planet Earth, right? And if I'm going to put myself in that kind of position, outside of your minor support, I need you guys to be able to see that through a phone call or through a presentation like this, I can gain your attention. I can then build enough value. You then can trust me with a payment. Then once processed payment, you could be held accountable, and then you could hit your short-term goals, and then you could stay consistent long enough that you working with me helps your long-term vision. It's called a real collaboration, not a one-time payment thing. I'm talking about being part of a community that's going to constantly grow, and the people around you are actually going to boost you up and give you the energy to keep going. Because I'm telling you right now, this lonely shit, this is a lonely, lonely life. Trying to do all this by yourself, feed your family, it's serious. It's a real hard thing. And if you don't have a plan, you're going to be overwhelmed day in and day out. And some people say, oh, I've seen some of your videos and you got what I call commission breath, or they don't call it that. They call it we could see that you're stressed out or you need something or blah, blah, blah. I call it commission breath. That's when you want a payment. That's when you want somebody to get started, right? Of course, I want to fast forward this, but I've been planning this for years out, right? And I'm trying to do it the right way. So it's called being humble, and that's the things that you guys don't see. So 3 years ago, I had to say, would I be willing to live certain ways and make certain sacrifices for years without anybody wanting to do this, in order for it to be authentic, in order for it to be real enough, in order for people to grasp on and say, you know what, this guy is not going to mentally take me off track. He's going to stay detached to leave me in my life, and then he's going to give me a different kind of blueprint that is going to direct me past small roadblocks that I'm having. That's all I'm asking for, right? 1% of your trust, I'll gain the other 99. From there, you actually make a commitment. You feel good about yourself. And outside of just saying, oh, I support, you're part of the community now. You actually have a reason. And then you get the gear and the merch and all the other things that come with it, right? Because you want to, not because you have to, not because somebody needs to be salesy. Because I could get on this and I could do feel, felt, found, right? Oh, I understand how you feel. feel, and other people have felt the same way. And what they found is working with me is you're going to get results. I don't need all that. I'm way past that shit. Way past it. And excuse my passion, because here comes the passion again, where I go, I'm giving you everything you need to get on a phone call with an appointment setter. The appointment setter is going to now call you. If for some reason you need to reach out to me on a personal level and you don't know how to, you can message me and I'm going to respond a certain way. But when you start getting the auto responses, when you start getting the emails, when you start getting a request to be a part of this community, you're going to have one or two choices, right? Choice number one is continue to do what you're doing now, day in and day out. We all know what that is. The results are insanity. Okay, so for example, when you see me, I got to keep on going live. I got to keep finding ways to manipulate screens and different ways to, bring different kind of value and gain attention and go, what is this guy really doing? I have to find ways to be able to continue to do that for you guys, right? So same concept with you guys, and I'm going to change this real quick. Right here, and I'm going to pause off for a second, and I'll jump back on the board. But right here, what you guys are seeing on the screen is the breakdown of the two different areas. So number one, on tier number one, it starts with a downloadable PDF, right? We're talking about having the information to get started and having a smooth process. I call it a smooth dive. It's a 12-month process where you get the information dispersed over short periods of time throughout the year. Right? Then there's an actual time management system that gets you on a call with me, on the schedule with me, and then you get dispersed links and videos of things that you would need to inform yourself with in order to save time so we could get the most out of each and every call. At that point, if you look at the left-hand side, tier number one comes with a PDF downloadable workbook, right? It's printable, you could fill it out, and then there's going to be different advancements of that downloadable workbook. Number two, you get to connect. You're going to get a free coaching call. That free coaching call is going to be a 30-minute consultation where I'm going to have someone or myself walk you through a sequence of questions and a small test that's going to see how I can help you immediately. You're either going to be qualified or you're going to be disqualified at that point, right? And then from there, you have an option to either go into the 8-week battle course or go into one-on-one accountability with me, right? The one-on-one coaching in tier 4. Number 5 is going to be different accountability projects. And let me change this screen again. So tier number 5, if you look down here at the bottom, you're going to see. So I've probably at this point have walked through cleaning up your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Instagram. We have got you on a point where you're in alignment on all social media platforms in regards to what it is you do. You have the downloadable PDF book at this point, and then you decide that you now want to collaborate and continue to work long-term with every individual that's in the community. Remember, the people that are in the community, they're all in alignment with their goals and personal development. Right now, you could still go to seminars, right? And these seminars are more towards very business-related situations and whatnot. This is more upon your personal life, your personal goals, your personal endeavors, who you are at the core, tracking and measuring that, learning your numbers, learning who you are. And after you break all this down, and everybody's book's going to be completely different, just like your DNA, you're then going to be able to say that at some point in your life, you allowed a readjustment. You were coachable enough to make mints and give truths and make truths with who you are and what happened in your life. Then from there, you go into the different options. So right now, what you guys are going to see on the screen before I break down the pricing and the different things like that, I'm going to give you guys different ways to understand the platforms that I'm on, so now you're not confused, so you can mentally start attaching to these said situations, and you can either be a little bit more motivated or you could give feedback, because I'm all open to feedback in any regards, right? So if you see me running and I'm recording a video like this and I'm like, what's up, blah, 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 and you think that the angle should be down from the corner because that's what you found to work or to be progressive for you. You could give me that advice. I adjust because I become a version of yourself, right? Like you're holding me accountable while I'm holding you accountable. I'm not going to hold you accountable to things that I'm not open to doing as well, even though your numbers might be a little bit different than mine. Now, if you go down here backwards, this is how it works. So tier number 1, like I was talking about in the last video, is an individual goal. Tier number 2 for me, in impressive vibrations, which is the community, is football or physical challenges. Okay, any kind of physical training, promotion of physical fitness, rehab, any kind of things that have to do with physical fitness or football. This is going to be tier 2. Tier 3 is blackout or personality. So in tier number 3, I'm doing the blackout, right? Everything is glowing. I might be painting my face. Who knows? I could be at a rave. I could be in the middle of a nightclub. Like, there's many ways that I could do the blackout dive. It just says the scene is in the dark. There's no limitations to what it is. It's going to be a random presentation. Anybody that's part of the community is going to look forward to the blackout dive. Anytime that there's a collaboration with like an artist or some, like if I was to go with you into the booth or into the studio, we put a black light up and we'd be in the booth and we'd be joking around, freestyling, doing what we're doing, and that would be a blackout dive. If you were a barber and you worked at a barbershop and you owned your own barbershop, in the middle of the night, we could black light out your barbershop. We would go in, you would cut my hair, we would talk just like as if it was an everyday situation. That now becomes a blackout dive. It's an exciting event that I am now presenting to everyone, and only the followers can be a part of that. The only people that are able to contribute or be a part of that and sit in that room or be into that blackout dive without being a fan or commenting or anything like that is people that follow the community. Now, number 4, role plays and walkthroughs. So when you guys see me in the black shirt or you see me in the black, with the beanie on or with the hat on, and I'm going through this and there's no volume, or I'm building this, or I'm coloring it in, or I'm doing another presentation. All of that is role play walkthrough, right? Role play walkthrough. Now, number 5, tomorrow's direction, which is a presentation and then a close. So my presentations are in white shirts. I jump on the dive board. I break something down. I then show you something like this. Every single time that there's a tier 5 like this, when it's done, there's going to be a banner. So what you guys are watching right here and what you're seeing, it says tomorrow's direction. Right under that, it says vision trails. It says need a push. It says a shared effort. All of those are banners that you would get if you complete 30 days of accountability, that you would then be able to post and write something that you're grateful for about accomplishing whatever the said accountability was that you went to. So I'm going to wrap this up with this. Now, at the very top of this, I'm going to fire them off real quick because I said this was going to be a short video. There's a couple of different pages. Instagram, impressive vibrations. Instagram, tomorrow's direction. It's no longer accessible, but it's free content. Current_dive, free content, no longer accessible. Accessible. I am Rai'men, my current Instagram page. You should follow me on that, because anytime that there's a data dump and I unfollow everyone, anybody that follows my main page always gets a follow back no matter what before everyone else. Now, you also have on YouTube Rai'men Horn TV, where you could walk through and understand and learn more about the dive boards and get the free presentation. So anything that's longer than 30 minutes is a full-blown presentation, where in my mind I would have charged you $97 to watch that live. I would have charged each person under $100 to watch any one of those YouTube videos. Just like this, I would have charged you money to watch something like this. Now, I've given out enough free value over the last 5 years, and I've broken up enough, and I've done so much work that I wanted to give this informational this way and give the prices so it's not negotiable. So you guys can really understand that when I ask you to make a commitment, you're going to hate me today. You're going to love me when you get where you want. You're going to look at the price, and if we need to break it down over the course of a week, a month, or year, I can break all that down to retarded numbers or dumb numbers, excuse my language, numbers that are so small and minute that it's going to make you feel like you're a horrible individual if you don't do this. Now, you don't have to. It's not for everybody. I need you guys to understand that. It's not for everybody. I don't want just anybody plugging in. I want people that literally, if they make a commitment, they're willing to make a lifestyle change. This is not like, go get a gym membership, go for a couple days, you're done. If you lock in with me, I guarantee you're going to want to work with me for at least 1 year. Right? I set everything up so after 12 months, you could never speak to me again, and you could just be appreciative. I could be appreciative. We could have an exchange of value. There's no hard feelings. There's no negativity. I will never put you down. I will never speak bad about you, even if you go and become something better or even competitive. I do not do that as an individual. Now, All right, so let's go back in there. So the way it works with me, I work on 1 to 6 mile commitments per week in terms of running, 10-mile goal times per mile. So when I'm running and you see all my running posts, I'm either running 1 to 6 miles that day. I'm trying to keep it under 10 minutes. If you need me to break your numbers down, I could do all of that. The coaching works between 30 to 365 days. It's a lifestyle change, like I said. And then there's going to be a habit check. So you have to give me the trust to break down one of your habits. Like, for example, one of my buddies right now, he's committed to me. I took out bread from his life for the next 30 days. He's not allowed to have bread in any area. He eats bread religiously. So that is a very hard situation for him. However, he pulls back and he's actually been committed. We're already 12 days in the month. He has not had no bread and we're working. Now, the last thing is I need you to participate. So you cannot get committed to this and not participate unless you just buy the downloadable print. If you want the blueprints and you want to do all this on your own and you just want the information, you feel free and do you. But if you want to go part of the coaching, if you want to work with me, if you want to collaborate, you want me to market and share who you are as an individual, it's very important that you have to understand participation is a mandatory, period. I have no hard feelings. The moment you're not participating for a 30-day process, that's it. You're out unless you get back in a different way. Now, I'm going to break this last thing down. So when you break down how I work, physical fitness, mud work, anything in the trenches where I'm actually grinding or I'm working on the morning routine or my physical training is always happening between 5 to 9 in the morning. 9 in the morning to about 2, I do content research. I'm probably getting back to many of you guys. 2 p.m. to about 6 p.m. I do creation and preparation. So when you guys wonder how my schedule works or what exactly I do in between being a parent and other things like that and schooling and stuff. And then 6 p.m. I have placement of value, right? So placement of value is where I start to put the information out in the community. I start to upload things. I start to get back to people. I start to decompress my day, right? After that, I decompress my day. I review my day, and then I reset. So it's very important that when you get on a schedule with me, if we only have 30 minutes, we only have 30 minutes. I got to cut it right at that point. So you want to focus. You want to get these books first. You want to work on this stuff by yourself first. And then you want to get on the coaching consultation. Then you get on the coaching consultation. Then from there, you work with me one-on-one. So all of the time is with the highest and best use, right? You make your downtime uptime now. You put aside video games, you put aside bad habits, you put aside going out, you keep yourself self-isolated for, let's just say, a year. You actually dive and try this, right? And then you develop the mindset that allows you to be who you want to be for wherever you're going. Now, let's break it down to the last 5 things before I get into the pricing part. Number 1, we're working with your goal. Number 2, we're going to learn how to communicate your value. Number 3, I'm going to build your presentation with you. Number 4, you're going to go through the truth cycle, which is all 20 of these areas, right? There's an individual email. There's an individual video for every one of those that you get throughout the year of the coaching. Now, the last thing is the 8-week in the coaching program. Let me explain something to you. There's a lot of you that have got to this point that feel like you're going to use this rubric, you're going to use the things that I got now, and you're going to try to build and develop your own thing. And I encourage you to do that because that's going to help edify me to become who I want to be. I need you guys to understand that where I want to go, deep down in my soul, I believe in myself. I only have myself. I'm striving to be the best version of myself so this can be authentic for every individual. Now, I also am trying to leave things behind for my sons and the sons that have now looked up to me or watch me or now get motivated by me somehow, some way, just to get a push or keep moving. You have to understand, I have to be this way intentionally to fill the shoes that I'm trying to fill. Now, I do 10 posts per month. Right when I'm in the dive. So you'll now understand every 3 days. So if I work with you, you're going to see 10 posts where I'm going to share per month of you. I need 1 pick every 3 days from you. I need 1 video a month, 60 seconds or less of you busting your goal or crushing your goal or getting to the point that you want to be. Now, the last piece here is competitive challenges are every single month. You're going to build your value virtually. So I'm going to show you how to track and measure like what you're seeing right there. And then you're going to learn how to make a presentation of yourself and use the things that you have every single day to become who you want to be. All right, now I'm going to take a knee and I'm going to show you guys this last piece. On the top right, you guys are going to see it. It's called a Dive Freedom Runner. If you go through all 5 tiers in the 1 year of coaching with me, you're called a Freedom Runner. You're going to get a medallion, a coin that looks like this. It's called a Tomorrow's Direction. So for many of you guys have been seeing this logo, you don't understand what it is. It's going to be a coin that you're going to be able to have that shows that you went through this. At a later time and date at Blackout Dives, the only way to get involved with the Blackout Dives is to have one of those coins to get involved with the collaboration of that night, which would be the marketing event that is going to be the money I put behind promoting what it is I do. And if you're involved in that, obviously the money gets put behind you as a person as well. If you're an artist, if you're a business owner, it doesn't matter what it is that you do. If you're part of that situation or that event, you're going to get edified somehow, some way. Now, on the right, I got a couple different things. So $19.99 would be a 30-minute, 10-day. You get one call with me, 30 minutes, 10 days. You get a portion of the book. So you do not get the Tomorrow's Direction Freedom Journal. You do not get this. You get a portion of it. It's 10 slides long. It walks through a couple of different things. It gives you sales skills. It gives you a small little plan, and it gives you something to journal in just to kind of get started, right? Then you have the 20 days, which is the $97. It comes with the book, and it comes with 2 calls and 30 days. So 30 days of accountability, 2 phone calls, right, which is 1 hour each. So you get 2 hours of my time where I'm on the phone with you, actually giving you advice, and we're having conversations back and forth, and you get the Dive Freedom Journal with that. Now, if you don't want my coaching, you don't want my advice, you don't want to fill your head with my knowledge or any of that, that's okay as well. You could go to tier number 3 in terms of payment with me, and that is the 30 days of accountability. There's no phone calls, right? So the only thing that you would do is you still would submit the videos. I still would market you, and then you still would get the journal, right? However, no contact between me and you besides text messages. Now, if you look at 1 through 5 in the bottom and you're like, hey, you know what? I want to do a new challenge, or I want to be challenged. I don't know what goal I want to work on. I just want to start from scratch. I gave you 5 examples of things that I do now and that I'm building every single day, week in and week out, year in and year out. And I've been working on it for the last 5 years. So number 1, a 10,000 ab challenge. The number is chasing your own goal against the community. So it's kind of like a soft flex. You use that to chase virtually the fact that you showed somebody that you did the first 100, then you showed somebody you did the next 1,000, then you showed somebody you did the next 2,500, then you showed somebody the next 5,000, the next 7,500, the next 10,000. It allows you to chase virtually that goal, and you could work with me on 10 days of that. That gives you an example of number 1. Number 2 would be the 20 days. You get the journal, you get the book. Maybe you don't want to do push-ups. Maybe you don't want to do that. You could do hikes. You could do walking. You could do habit checks. There's a lot of different areas for number 2. You also could do a way to show your workouts. So if you're out there training every day and you're like, man, I wish I would go live, or I wish I would show somebody what I do every day, I would give you a couple of different tips on camera angles or different ways to set things up for you to, give out the right perspective to stay in alignment with what you're doing. Now, number 3 is the 30 days of accountability. So someone I recently did it with, it was 3,300 jumping jacks, jump rope, or mountain climbers. That's technically about 1,100 every 10 days. So that's about 110 a day. It's a pretty good thing to keep your heart rate up. It's a pretty good thing to, be held accountable and have to, find out which day you're going to do the trick or the cool thing, or what day you're going to break the jump rope if that was the, the joke of the day. It's a good way for you to have accountability for 30 days to rewrite your mind, to think about what you would do next if you had to change the object, if you had to change the product, if you had to change the scenario, if whatever it was, you'd be in full control to be able to continue to change yourself the rest of your life and mold, yourself core value wise to who you want to become. Now, if you look at number 4, that's the need a push. If you want to do this just running with me from 1 to 6 miles, and you want to actually come to the track, you want to run with me, you want to shoot video with me, you want to be completely on board, and you want to contribute day in and day out, you could be part of four. And part of four would be 2 days a week. You show up at the track. One day's about me, one day's about you. I'm chasing your goals and helping you. You're chasing my goals and helping me. And then we hold each other accountable. So if you want to go one on one with that and you're in the Orange County area at this moment, the city changes every 2 to 3 years. I like to switch cities or I like to move. The next one will be up a little bit more inboard, like Fullerton, somewhere around that area, maybe San Bernardino, Riverside area, and then closer to Vegas, and then possibly Texas. So there's different ways that this place is going to be moving, and the need a push area will be moving when I put other instructors on. And then number 5, which is the 3 mile commitment, once a month. The last Sunday of every month, I have a buy-in. It's a donation, so you could donate whatever amount of money that you want to my PayPal, and you could show up and you can actually run with me against time. So if your goal to run 3 miles is under 30 minutes, you've never done it before, you could donate whatever set amount, at least $1. You could show up. You could contribute to the PayPal. Once you do that, I give you the location. You show up to where that is. You run with me. We try to beat your goal together. And the entire time I'm running by your side and I'm pushing you to that said goal, right? Obviously, the content then gets marketed. You're part of the community. Other individuals find out who you are. And all of that is a great way as well, to get to the next level. All right, so last thing, right? This was a mindset adjustment for the new user. I want to just give you what to expect on week 1, right? You make the commitment, you're all in. You're like, you know what? I want to do this, but what am I supposed to expect on these phone calls? Like, what really do I expect? So I kind of broke this down, to get on common ground so you can understand. If you made it this far in the video, I want to give you the utmost respect. I want to say thank you for your time. There's one of these things where I say, I'm dropping a lot of content because I'm a full-time dad. I got a lot of things going on, right? And I'm doing all of this stuff by myself. However, there's a lot of videos on the right-hand side of what you're seeing here that will allow you to understand a lot more, and you possibly could have the strength to even help me push this or work with me or anything like that. I'm 100% coachable to anything that you guys are, have in terms of feedback or opinions. However, I do have to hold my ground. I have the belief with the content and everything that I'm showing you. All of this is the free content. The information and the stuff that I coach on, everything else that I have here, right? So I got this whole thing broken down into 1 year of content. All of this information I believe to be more valuable than everything that you're seeing right now. So when you see the content, when you see things, getting bombarded, understand that I'm pushing at an energy that needs to be pushed at in order for Earth to see this. The average person would either go, oh, this is the boy who cried wolf, or this person stayed consistent long enough to break through. And that's where I'm at, and that's what I'm trying to do on this planet. I'm trying to break through to show my sons, to show my family, to show all these people that I didn't make these sacrifices in my time for no reason. I made these sacrifices in my time for you as the individual. And let's break down the back end of this mastermind. So number 1, in the first week, we're going to break down a structure and we're going to give you strategy. Then we're going to work on what social media you use the most and how you present yourself. We're going to list 10 areas of your life that you would like to improve. So you should start thinking about that now while you're in between the videos that you're watching on the right-hand side here. And then I want you to circle the top 3 of those 10 areas. And when you circle those, really try to write a paragraph about why each one of those meant that to you, why you wrote that down, why you want to emphasize on that being of importance in your life. And then think about what area of focus do you feel that you need accountability. Let's say you're perfect. There's still one area where you're at your glass ceiling and you might need a little bit of a push. What area do you feel like you would need accountability for this to be worthwhile? Okay, now, a couple of different things that I need from you in order for you to have at least a somewhat of a presentable image to work with me so I can continue to push this to where I need to get it to. You need to have default photos that are clear. Default photos means the photos on your social media platform need to show the best version of yourself. Images of your face, right? Not random things, not fake profiles, not random names. Like, present yourself properly. Show the world who you are as an individual. we're going to close doors. So there's going to be avenues to be able to move your following and move your friends and families into different compartments that allow you to present yourself and certain things to move forward while you're in a position of staying focused on what it is that you want to do. The qualification of the followers is going to be the biggest part of this. So I'm trying to qualify you. I'm trying to put you in a position to find out if you're right for this community, if you're right to be coachable enough to be able to, I guess, use this as a bulletproof vest or a cloak, right? An invisible shield to help you get to wherever it is that you want to get to in your life. So in order to do that, I have to ask you the right questions. I have to be firm on what it is that I do. And this is the reason why I need you guys to know this process and understand what it is that I'm doing here. Now, why do you do what you do right now? Who are you and why do you do? Why did you choose to be who it is that you are? Whatever your complacency level is in life in terms of you deciding who you are and who you're going to be with, who you settled for in terms of who you are, I want you to tell me, why are you that person? And then if you had to make a last video this week, how would you sum up your current situation? So if you had to make a video and it had to be all about your situation now and the hardest part of your life and how and where you're going next, what would your video be about? What would that topic be about? And how would you be able to gain some sort of attention to be able to get that across to individuals worldwide? All right. All right. Accountability with a coach is going to depend on the tier package you are on at the moment, and it's going to be between 2 to 4 calls like I was talking about earlier. The average American has 4 months off per year. So I want you to think about what can you do consistently to fill that time. So if you want to sit here and try to tell me that you have no time to do something like this, I need you to understand that with the blueprints and the way that I have built this, I want to fill the 4 months of downtime, your vacation time, the minutes in between, like the weekends, the 2 extra minutes or the 2 extra hours that you sleep day in and day out that you could push towards your goal. I want to use that time towards the dive to put you in a position to win. Now, thoughts equal emotions that lead to behaviors, bringing us to our current results. So we're going to try to crush the emotion behind your behavior, and then we're going to redirect and refocus you through a systematic approach of your own life, your own goals, your own vision. All right. Now, I'm going to sum that up. That was it. I appreciate all of you guys' time. Like I said, you guys could go back. You guys can watch the videos. I'm going to give you guys right here a real quick glimpse of what it would be like. And this is straight workbook that I walk through each individual with on week number 1. Okay. So to sum it up, I want to say congratulations to any one of you guys that decide to work with me. And for everybody that made it to the end of this video, I appreciate your time. I would appreciate your feedback. And I definitely would love to answer any kind of questions that you guys might have in regards to getting going. Let's go.